Hello, this is Monday with the Mayor. I'm Bill Potter, and joining me, or I'm actually joining him in his office, this is His Honor, Mayor Denny Spinner of Huntingburg.
Good
Denny,
to see
it's
you,
always
Bill.
good to talk to you.
Good to see you again.
Well, tomorrow you're going to have a very important meeting for a project that's been going on since 2013.
Correct.
And now we are getting closer to seeing things actually start to happen.
That's correct, and it concerns the railroad overpass project. And there's been a lot of interest, a lot of concerns, a lot of questions about where we are. And finally, we're at the point where I do have a few more definitive answers as to where we are exactly in the process. Tomorrow, our staff will be going to the Indiana Department of Transportation offices in Paoli to have our first meeting with the contractor that has been selected to construct the overpass. The project went to bid in February. We received 6 bids on the project, and the lowest bidder was selected, and as we're going to be meeting with them tomorrow to actually have a pre-construction meeting to set the timeline going forward. The bid came in at about $5.8 million for construction of this project, which was under the engineer's estimate, and so it's really given us the green light to begin the process where you'll actually see some work done yet this year in the construction process. As you mentioned, it was June of 2013 when the Department of Transportation and the Lieutenant Governor's office came to Huntingburg and announced that we would receive funding for this project. It was decided at that point it would be an 80-20 split between state and federal sources and 20% local. The city of Huntingburg then worked with our county elected officials, and we've had a great partnership with them to take that 20% share, which is local, and split that evenly between the city of Huntingburg and Du Bois County. And the main reason why the county really was supportive of this, along with the city, is, Bill, this is truly a local project. There's been a lot of questions of why isn't it on US 231? Why the current route basically connects between where it will start at 14th and Chestnut and swing through some open areas and eventually connect down to Styline Drive. And the reason that was selected was that the state saw this as a local need more than a state need. And the local need was that when a train is on the tracks for an extended period of time in the city of Huntingburg, it blocks all traffic. And most importantly, it blocks emergency traffic. So if in order for us to find a way to solve that local problem, this route was one of 5 or 6 that was studied and was seen to be the least invasive as for the least number of properties that would be affected and the most cost effective. So with that in mind, we went to the county. They saw this as a project that they could support because it does solve a county need as well as a city need. And in all intents and purposes, after this project is over, it'll be maintained by local sources. It'll be the city of Huntingburg's project to maintain the roadway. And as our county funding is set up, the county is responsible for any bridge structures in the county. So this being an overpass over 12th Street and Chestnut Street will be a bridge, and the county will have the responsibility for long-term maintenance of that. So we engaged the county. They've been involved in the process from the very beginning. They will be attending the meeting with us tomorrow as we meet. The contractor is E&B Paving out of Anderson, Indiana. So we'll be meeting with those folks, with all the NDOT folks, and really set the stage for what will happen in the next 9 to 12 months in the construction process.
Because really, we're not that far from completion. Because I mean, there's been a lot of work.
Yes.
There's a lot of work no one sees that gets you to this point.
There's been about 2. Work has not really stopped since 2013, right, when we got the approval to begin this process. Again, we go through the study of all the corridors that existed, and then the selection of an engineering firm to do the engineering study. We had public hearings about the design at that point, and I must say that what happened here with this project is not something that happens a lot of projects, but it fit the process well. There were some concerns about the initial design by our business community that uses the industrial park. And there was actually a design change as a result of that hearing. So the public hearing served a very, very good purpose that allowed the folks that have been in our industrial park for some time to voice their concerns over traffic in their area, and adjustments were made. So that's exactly what that public hearing process was about, and those questions were addressed. So we felt very positive about going forward from there. And then, you know, as things continue on, you get down to the funding. And now we did get the approval, once the bid was awarded, that the approval for the $5.8 million construction was set aside. We have, working with the county, supplied our match for that, which is around $1.6 million, has been put into the fund for the state so that we can actually begin work on the project. And after tomorrow's meeting, we will have more of a definite timeline, but in the contract with the successful bidder is a significant completion date of September of 2018. Which when you say significant completion, that means you can drive on it. Okay. So significant completion means it's open, should be open for traffic by September, end of September of 2018.
That's just a year and a half.
Year and a half from now. Most likely what you will see initially, they'll probably see a flurry of activity in the zone, the construction zone early on, hopefully this spring yet and into the summer. When you're building a bridge of this nature, there's a lot of footings that have to be poured and put in place. And once that portion of the project is done, then you got to let nature kind of take its course and let everything settle down, and so that we're not building a bridge on top of an unstable situation. So they'll probably see a lot of activity and then maybe a lull in activity for a while before those footers are all in place and where they need to be, and then a continuation of the project. And I think that'll be a minimal disruption in the traffic in those areas. The most significant change will be on the Skyline Drive area. But as you recall, with our stellar process, a project that we had done early on was the extension of 9th Street that connected 9th Street with Bunkhouse Drive to allow for traffic to continue to circulate through the industrial park. If there is construction between 9th Street and 12th Street, there is a route to get around it. So a lot of planning has gone into place. A lot of people have done a lot of hard work. All our utilities have been involved in this and relocation of utilities in those areas. So when this project starts, that the path is clear, and so we are ready to go. Looking forward to tomorrow's meeting and being able to report back with some timelines that will get this project underway. Okay.
Now, one more question.
Sure.
Would be, this is cars going over the railroad,
correct,
not the railroad going over the cars.
Cars going over the railroad.
Yes. How high will the bridge be?
The bridge will be approximately 28 feet above the track. And that is to allow, if you've seen traffic through on the trains these days, a lot of those double-decker cars where you have two containers on top of a rail bed, you have to have a minimum clearance of about 28 feet. So the bridge itself will be about 28 feet in the air at the point where it apexes over the railroad track, and then slope down back to grade on 9th Street, at 9th and Skyline, and then at 14th Street on the north.
Well, I'm going to ask you one more question.
One more question. You see, there's always one more question.
Looking at where it's going,
right?
One is basically by the Huntingburg Event Center.
Correct.
You don't know the train is coming through when you're approaching that area, and you may have driven past that road and go, right. Oh, wait, great, there's a train, I got to turn around. What's going to happen?
One of the parts of the project is an automated signal that indicates that when the track becomes active, when the arms become active at 8th Street, where the cross is 231 right now, there will be a flashing indicator north of 14th Street. So as you come into town, if the track is active, there'll be a flasher that indicates that the track is active, and you could be advised to use the bypass. Now, there will be some people that will be past 14th when that light comes on, but as resourceful as our travelers are in Du Bois County, they've always found ways to get back into to get around the train as much as they could before there was an overpass, and I'm sure they'll be just as creative should they see the train come across. They'll know that there is a path they can take to get around it. Coming from the south, there is you will visibly be able to see the crossing at 8th Street when you're at 6th and Main, so you could use the alternate route at that time. But there will be indicators that show that when the track is busy, so that to minimize the amount of traffic that is maybe in between 14th and 8th Street when that train goes through.
Well, thank you very much for talking with us.
Thank you.
It's good to see the exciting things that are happening.
Well, this is like step one. This is one of those things that was kind of the precursor to our stellar designation. The fact that this project was on the table, and we were going to see a connectivity in Huntingburg that we've never seen before. this has kind of been the anchor of which a lot of projects around Stellar has been built, because we knew this project was coming in, and we can say that for a fact this project is coming.
All right, well, good luck with your meeting tomorrow, and thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you, Bill.
We have been talking with His Honor, Mayor Denny Spinner from Huntingburg, Indiana. Thank you for watching Monday with the Mayor.